One evening, Chidi gathered the family. The children looked at him with curious eyes, and Esine felt the knot in her stomach tighten. Chidi spoke, his voice heavy. "I have something to tell you all. I am leaving for a while." Esine's voice shook as she asked, "Leaving? What do you mean, Chidi?" Chidi tried to reassure them, saying, "I cannot tell you now, but I will tell you later when I return. I will be back in a couple of days. Don't be afraid." Once upon a time, in a bustling village in Nigeria called Ayodele, there lived a man named Chidi. Chidi was known for his bright smile and his kindness. He was married to a lovely woman named Esine. They had 4 wonderful children: Namdi, their eldest son; Chinwe, their eldest daughter; Kelechi, their second son; and little Amara, their youngest daughter. Every morning, Chidi would go to the farm to work, and Esine would stay home to take care of the children and the house. The children would play outside, running around and laughing. Namdi, the eldest, always looked out for his younger siblings. Chinwe loved to help her mother with cooking. Kelechi had a talent for drawing, and little Amara was always singing. In the evenings, they would sit all together to eat dinner. They shared stories, laughed, and enjoyed being together. Their home was filled with love and joy. But as the years went by, Chidi began to change. He became distant and would often leave the house without saying where he was going. Esine noticed the change and felt worried. She hoped it was just a phase and that Chidi would go back to being the loving husband and father he once was. One day, Chidi received a letter from his old friend Obinna, who had moved to the city a year ago. Obinna invited Chidi to visit him, boasting about his new life of luxury and success. Chidi decided to visit Obinna, hoping to learn more about the opportunities in the city. When Chidi arrived, he was deeply impressed by Obinna's wealth and lifestyle. Obinna's apartment was spacious and filled with modern amenities, things Chidi had never seen before. "Welcome, Chidi! How do you like the city life?" Obinna welcomed his friend when he arrived. "It's amazing, Obinna. You've done so well for yourself," Chidi replied. Obinna was a successful businessman who owned a small but thriving logistics company that transported goods across the country. He had started from scratch and built his business through hard work, clever deals, and a bit of luck. Obinna shared his secrets, saying, "You see, Chidi, when I started just 1 year ago, I tripled my income in 2 weeks. The most important thing is to never give up and always have the right mindset. Persistence is key. You don't even have to be intelligent or know anything. Everything you need for your success, I will teach you." Chidi was mesmerized by Obinna's words and the promise of a better life. Obinna continued, "If you trust me, it'll be very easy for you. In the city and with my guidance, you can have unlimited success. Within 1 to 3 months, you will have earned enough money to never worry about finances again. After a few weeks, you can return proudly and present your success to your family, providing them with a secure and easy life. But don't tell them now, because they won't understand and they will hold you back." Chidi felt a surge of hope and determination. He wanted to provide a better life for his family and believed that Ubina's plan was the way to do it. He agreed, saying, "I trust you, Ubina. I'll do it." Chidi returned to his village Ayodele with a heavy heart. He spent the next few days thinking about Ubina's offer. Every evening he would sit with his family, but his mind was elsewhere. Ezine noticed his distant behavior and grew concerned. One evening she approached him, asking, "Chidi, you seem troubled. Is everything all right?" Chidi struggled to find the right words. He didn't want to worry her, but knew he couldn't keep his plan a secret forever. He replied, "Ezine, there are things I'm considering. Opportunities that might change our lives for the better." Ezine probed gently. "What kind of opportunities? You know you can talk to me about anything." Chidi responded cryptically, "It's hard to explain now, but later you will understand. Just trust me." Avoiding eye contact. Ezine felt a knot of worry tighten in her stomach. She didn't understand what Chidi was planning, but sensed that it was something big. One evening, Chidi gathered the family. The children looked at him with curious eyes, and Ezine felt the knot in her stomach tighten. Chidi spoke, his voice heavy. "I have something to tell you all. I am leaving for a while." Ezine's voice shook as she asked, "Leaving? What do you mean, Chidi?" Chidi tried to reassure them, saying, "I cannot tell you now, but I will tell you later when I return. I will be back in a couple of days. Don't be afraid." The children were distraught. Namdi cried, "Papa, don't go!" with tears in his eyes. Chinwe asked, her voice trembling, "Papa, why do you have to leave?" Kelechi pleaded, "Can't you stay with us, Papa?" And little Amara sobbed, "Papa, please don't go." Chidi turned and walked out of the house, leaving Ezine and the children in tears. Ezine hugged her children tightly, trying to comfort them, but she was heartbroken. The next morning, word spread quickly through the village about Chidi's departure. Ayodele was a close-knit community, and everyone knew each other's business. Neighbors gossiped, "Did you hear? Chidi left his family!" And "How could he do that? Ezine and the children must be devastated." An elder commented, "This is a disgrace. A man should never abandon his family." Ezine felt the weight of the village's whispers and pitying looks. She held her head high, determined not to let the gossip break her spirit. She knew she had to be strong for her children. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. Chidi did not return. Ezine and the children grew increasingly worried. They searched for him everywhere, fearing he might have faced trouble or been hurt seriously. Namdi expressed his concern. "Mama, we need to find Papa. What if he is in danger?" Chinwe suggested, "We should ask the villagers if they have seen him." Ezine reassured them, "We will search everywhere, my children. We will find him." The family asked everyone they knew. They searched the nearby towns and even sent messages to distant relatives, but there was no sign of Chidi. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. The uncertainty was unbearable, but eventually they had to accept that Chidi might never return. Esine had never worked outside the home before, but now she had no choice. She needed to provide for her children. She started by selling fruits and vegetables at the market. Every morning she would wake up before dawn to pick the freshest produce. She gathered her children, saying, "Namdi, Chinwe, Kelechi, Amara, you all need to help me. We have to work together to get through this." Namdi offered, "I will help you, Mama. I can carry the baskets to the market." Chinwe added, "I will help too, Mama. I can clean and arrange the produce." Kelechi suggested, "I will draw signs to attract customers." And Amara chimed in, "I will sing songs to make people happy and want to buy from us." Esine was proud of her children. They worked hard and slowly their business began to grow. Esine's fruits and vegetables became known as the freshest and best in the market. She saved every penny she could, knowing she needed to provide for her children's future. As the year passed, Esine found more ways to earn money. She started making and selling akara, Nigerian bean cakes, and zobo, a popular Nigerian drink, in addition to her produce. She worked long hours, often late into night, but she never complained. A neighbor once asked, "Esine, you work so hard. Don't you ever rest?" Esine replied, "My children are my strength. I want them to have a better future." The children did their part too. Namdi excelled in school and tutored other children for a small fee. Chinwe helped with the household chores and looked after her younger siblings. Kelechi's talent for drawing blossomed and he started selling his artwork. Amara continued to sing and people would pay her to perform at events. Esine's hard work paid off. She managed to save enough money to send her children to good schools. She believed in the power of education and wanted her children to have every opportunity to succeed. She often reminded them, "Education is the key to a better life. You must study hard and never give up." Namdi promised, "I will become a doctor, Mama, and take care of you." Chinwe declared, "I will build great things as an engineer." Kalechi vowed, "I will paint beautiful pictures and make you proud." Amara added, "I will fight for justice as a lawyer." Esine was proud of her children's resilience and determination. Despite the hardships, they grew up to be successful and kind-hearted individuals. Chidi had arrived in the city and was welcomed by Obinna with open arms. Obinna quickly put Chidi to work in his logistics company. Chidi started as a driver, transporting goods across the city and beyond. The work was exhausting and dangerous. Chidi had to navigate through rough roads and deal with corrupt officials demanding bribes. But he persevered, motivated by the thought of his family. He often reminded himself, "I'm doing this for Esine and the children." Despite the hardships, Chidi found moments of joy in the city. He enjoyed the camaraderie with other drivers and the satisfaction of completing a delivery successfully. However, the city was also a place of temptation. Obinna's success was partly due to his willingness to bend the rules and take risks. "Sometimes you have to play dirty to get ahead, Chidi. Just remember why you are here." Chidi faced many challenges, from dealing with dishonest clients to avoiding confrontations with gangs that controlled certain areas. He learned to be tough and resourceful. But as weeks turned into months, he realized he was getting further away from his dream of turning home with enough money to secure his family's future. Confiding in Obinna, he said, "I thought I could do this, but it's harder than I imagined." Obinna encouraged him. "Success doesn't come easy, Chidi. You have to keep pushing." After 6 months of hustling in the city and seeing Obinna less and less due to his expanding business, Chidi sought a conversation with his friend. Obinna had grown his company into a large logistics empire, employing more and more drivers. Chidi felt abandoned and confused. Chidi confronted him. "Obinna, I don't see the unlimited success. I can barely run my life in the city from my income, nor can I transfer money to my family. Why am I not successful and rich as you promised me? How long will it take for me to earn enough money to tell my family what I am doing and to transfer money to them?" Obinna, busy with his growing empire, looked at Chidi with a mix of guilt and frustration. He admitted, "Chidi, I know it's been tough. The city isn't as easy as it seems. Success takes time and a lot of hard work. You have to stay persistent and never give up. But I see you're struggling. I'm sorry I haven't been there for you as much as I promised." Chidi felt a wave of disappointment wash over him. He had believed in Obinna's words and had risked everything, leaving his family behind. He decided, "I need to find a way back home, Obinna. My family needs me more than ever." Obinna nodded, understanding the depth of Chidi's struggle. He offered to help Chidi get back on his feet and find a safer way to make money, but Chidi's mind was set on returning to his family. Obinna explained, "The business has changed, Chidi. I had to make amendments to the market. I need more drivers to keep the business going. Life is not that easy, Chidi. We have all our struggles. But I promise you that you will succeed if you just follow my guidelines. You have to work more hours and harder. You will achieve your goal, I guarantee you." Chidi, torn between his desire to return home and his hope to achieve success, decided to give it another try. He trusted Obinna's promise and continued to work hard, hoping that his perseverance would eventually pay off. But as time passed, Chidi found himself trapped in an endless cycle of working long hours and barely making enough to survive. Each time Chidi thought about returning home, he felt ashamed. He had left with a promise of success and now had nothing to show for his efforts. The thought of facing his family empty-handed was unbearable. He convinced himself that he just needed a little more time. Years turned into decades. Chidi lost track of time as he continued to work tirelessly. He had always believed that success was just around the corner, that one more job, one more deal would finally bring him the fortune he had promised his family. One day, Chidi fell ill and couldn't go to work. As he lay in bed, he thought about his life and the choices he had made. He realized that he had been running in circles, chasing a dream that seemed to slip further away with each passing day. During his illness, Chidi reached out to other drivers, hoping to find some comfort and support. While he had known them for years, the long working hours had prevented them from forming real friendship. But now, in his vulnerable state, he learned the harsh truth. A fellow driver revealed, Chidi, you need to know something. Obinna sold his business month ago and made an immense fortune. He has left the city. Chidi was shocked. What? How could that be? Why didn't he tell us? Another driver explained, Obinna told all of us the same story of unlimited success. He made us believe that he was offering friendship and mentorship. But he was only taking advantage of us, making us work hard to profit and make his business thrive. Chidi realized the painful truth. So it was never the plan to make any of us rich? The driver confirmed. No, Chidi. Obinna used us to build his empire and then left when he had enough. We spent our lives serving him, believing in false promises. Chidi felt a wave of anger and betrayal. He had trusted Obinna, leaving his family behind for a dream that was never meant to be. He realized that he had wasted 20 years of his life chasing a mirage. He decided, I have to go back to my family. I can't continue living this lie. Meanwhile, back in his village, Ayodele, Izin and the children thrived despite the absence of Chidi. Namdi graduated at the top of his class and earned a scholarship to study medicine. Chinve's engineering skills caught the attention of a prestigious university, and she also earned a scholarship. Kelechi's art was displayed in galleries, and Amara became a passionate advocate for justice, eventually going to law school. A neighbor commented, Ezine, you have done a remarkable job with your children. They are all so successful. Ezine replied humbly, It is by God's grace and their hard work. I am so proud of them. With the support of her children, Ezine's business developed very well. They built up real wealth and lived in a beautiful house. Everyone in the village respected them, and they were happy. 20 years passed. The children were now adults, successful in their careers. Namdi was a doctor, Chinve an engineer, Kalechi an artist, and Amara a lawyer. They often thought about their father, but they focused on supporting their mother, who had been their rock. One sunny afternoon, as Ezine and her children were having lunch, there was a knock on the door. Namdi opened it to find an old, frail man standing there. It was Chidi. Chidi said weakly, Ezine, it's me, Chidi. I have come to ask for your forgiveness. Ezine and the children gathered around, shocked to see the man who had abandoned them so many years ago. Namdi spoke angrily, Why should we forgive you? You left us. Chinba asked, hurt evidence in her voice. Do you know how much pain you caused? Kelechi said sadly, We needed you, and you weren't there. Amara demanded sternly, Explain yourself, Papa. Chidi, you will understand that after all this time, it is difficult to just act like nothing happened. There was a time when we went through hell. Understand that the children and I cannot forgive you so easily. First, we have to understand what was wrong with you and what made you to leave us then and never contact us again. Chidi tearfully explained, I made a terrible mistake. I lost everything. I realized too late that my true happiness was here with you. I am so sorry. Despite the pain, Esine's kind heart chose forgiveness. She said softly, "We have always taught our children to be kind and forgiving. Chidi, we forgive you." Chidi broke down in tears, overwhelmed by their kindness. The family hugged, tears streaming down their faces. After the initial shock, Esine and the children sat down with Chidi to hear his story. Chidi explained everything. How he had been tempted to Obina's promises of wealth and success, how he had worked tirelessly in the city, and how he had been deceived and used. He admitted, "I never reached out because I felt ashamed. I thought I would return with wealth and success, but I failed. I didn't want to face you empty-handed. I thought I was doing it for all of you, to give you a better life. But I see now that I was wrong. I should have stayed and worked with you, trusted in our own strength and abilities." The children listened quietly, their anger slowly turning into understanding. Namdi said, "Papa, you should have trusted us. We would have been there for you." Chinwe added, "We needed you, Papa, but we understand now." Kelechi reflected, "It was hard without you, but Mama made us strong." Amara concluded, "You made a mistake, Papa, but you are here now. Let's move forward together." Esine said wisely, "Chidi, you have learned a hard lesson. We have built our lives without you, but we still need you as a part of our family. It's never too late to make things right." From that day on, Chidi became a part of their lives again. He worked hard to make amends, spending time with the children and helping Esine. The family grew closer, finding happiness in their unity. Namdi smiled. "It's good to have you back, Papa." Chidi, grateful, replied, "Thank you for giving me a second chance." Esine, holding Chidi's hand, said, "Together we are stronger." As Chidi settled back into life in his village Ayodele, he quickly realized that the encounter with his family was just the beginning of his challenges. The village, however, was not as forgiving. Rumors and gossip spread like wildfire, and Chidi became the target of harsh judgment and relentless bullying. Despite his best efforts to reintegrate and prove his worth, Chidi faced hostility at every turn. The villagers saw him as a dishonorable man who had abandoned his family, and their opinions were difficult to change. How will Chidi and his family navigate the turbulent waters of public opinion? Will the strength of their family bonds be enough to overcome the prejudice and animosity of the villagers? And what secrets from Chidi's past might still be uncovered? Stay tuned for episode 2, where the true test of family unity begins, and Chidi faces the daunting task of reclaiming his honor in the eyes of Ayodele. Thank you for watching the story. Please share with me in the comments, what do you think about what Chidi did? Do you believe he deserves forgiveness? How would you have reacted if you were in Esine's or the children's place? Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell so you won't miss any of the upcoming stories. See you in the next story. Bye bye.